Max, Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Taco Bell have teamed up to feature one must-see Texas high school football matchup each week in the Houston area, and one of those teams is spotlighted. I mean, look, blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. We're going to get to see the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes come up here in a bit. And here to talk about his Buffaloes is the head coach of Fort Bend Marshall. We're joined by Coach James Williams. Coach, how are you?
I'm great, sir. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, thanks for joining us. I know things are hectic with game day around there. What's the vibe like around the program right now?
Honestly, we're just trying to focus on week by week to get better. You know, we're really trying to keep the heads leveled and don't worry about the press clippings and the excitement right now. Just focus on us getting better.
And so far, so good. You guys are off to a strong start. I want to ask you a little bit about your opening week. Obviously, things got really bizarre down there. You guys missed 2 weeks thanks to Hurricane Harvey. You guys open with Klein, and it's a good Klein team, but you guys end up falling in your opener. What did you learn about your team maybe in that first week that you think has carried over to your success since then?
Well, we knew against that team, the Klein's a great team. Shane Homer does an incredible job. I actually worked with Shane when he was at Hightower. Very well-coached team. And we were in the game in the fourth quarter. It was 13-14, really close, but we didn't finish the game. So it was a lesson for the whole team. We have to be focused. We have to play Marshall Brandon football, and that's always been physical, playing with discipline, and playing with great emotion, great effort. And that game, we just did not do it. We started off slow. Because that was technically supposed to be our third game. Like you said earlier, we had the hurricane, so we missed the first 2 games. So jumping into a game like that first week, we need to be more focused but they learned from that situation. So we've done a much better job coming from since that situation.
Yeah, since then, really the thing that stood out to me is it seems like your defense has really stepped up, and the defense has been making plays, like we could have seen coming. So far, what has been the difference defensively that has sparked you guys to this hot start?
Like I said before about our brand of football, playing with discipline. We got to play with discipline. We got to be physical. And on the defense, we have some injuries, so we have some new guys coming in, several sophomores, about 4 sophomores are starting on our defense right now this year, and they've taken some time to get up to speed, but they've gotten the hang of it. They've caught up to speed as far as the speed of the game, and just not just relying on athletic ability, but actually playing with fundamentals, playing with good technique, and that's going to lead to your success.
On the other side, we're talking with James Williams of Fort Bend Marshall here on Texas Football Today. Interview brought to you by our friends at Taco Bell. Get involved in the conversation. #TF Today. On the offensive side, Coach, the guy that everybody points to has got to be Jabari James, your outstanding quarterback. What a special player he is. I know Max got to see him in person, and he came away really blown away by how good this young man is.
He's a competitor.
You're the guy who gets to see him every day in practice. What stands out about Jabari that makes you guys so dangerous offensively?
He's a competitor. It's important to him, and he wants to be successful. He takes it very seriously, and we're blessed with the offensive line that does a tremendous job blocking for him and being physical up front. Because no matter what's going on these days, a lot of people are running spread offenses and different things. It's still a line of scrimmage game. You still got to be able to run the ball and be physical, and you got to get up offensive line blocking for him. And he's got 4 really good running backs who can all do the job very well, along with receivers on the outside. So, offensively, we're very blessed this year. A lot of guys, and that's one key as well, is Jabari has the guys to spread the ball around. So it's not just on him to do everything. He's got a lot of skilled players that we can spread the ball around to, and they all can make plays. And so the defense is not able to just home in on 1 or 2 guys, but you got to cover the whole field.
You mentioned the running game, and I think that's something that really goes overlooked for you guys. Jabari's such a star, and you kind of gravitate towards him, but the running game has really been the lifeblood of your team, and really a lot of the guys who are doing a lot of the damage are underclassmen. Jerry Davis, just a junior. You've got Devin Achane, who's a sophomore, Michael Jones Jr., who's a junior. Have you felt like I knew you guys were going to have some younger players. Have you felt like you've seen that development from those guys from maybe that first week up until now?
Absolutely. Those guys have developed and gotten better. Our focus is every week, getting better every week. And those guys have gotten better. They've competed well. They compete in practice, because they want the ball. So, if I'm going to have to get the ball, I got to show them in practice every week and the ball to come in the game. So, as a group, they've all taken task to themselves to all get better, so they can all spread the ball around and everybody could contribute to the win.
I want to ask you a little bit about what you've got coming up, because the district, as you know, is unforgiving. You guys already played Manville, who's one of the best teams in the state, and you guys got a big one tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Hall Stadium, when you guys take on Fort Bend Elkins. Not going to ask you to give away your game plan or anything like that, but when you take a look across the field, what you're going to see from Elkins next week, or rather tomorrow, what are you seeing?
I see a team that plays physical football, a team that very athletic as well as we are. Every year we play Elkins, it goes down to the end. I mean, literally the last 2 out of 3 years we've gone a double overtime. 2 years ago, the game was decided in the last couple minutes of the game. So no matter what the records are, you can throw them out. When it comes to playing Elkins, they do a tremendous job over there, and they compete well. And we're definitely not taking this game lightly. We have to perform in order to get the win.
We're talking with James Williams, the head coach of the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes, here on Texas Football Today. Interview brought to you by our friends at Taco Bell. Get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. All right, Coach, I know you're busy, and we don't want to keep you too long, but I do have to ask you. You are an Illini. You are you're from Chicago. You are a graduate of the University of Illinois, like my father. So
wow,
we have a lot in common.
You and
here,
okay.
Exactly.
Love that.
I want to ask you about Lovey. Are you on Team Lovey? Is this a guy? Or
Absolutely.
You got his back.
Absolutely have his back. He's a great coach, and number one, he's a great person. But I know in college football it's about wins and losses. But we have to recruit better, improve the roster. When he got there, there were some issues on the roster. So he tried to do a tremendous job his first year and a half of recruiting the players he needs to be successful. And it's definitely not going to be an overnight fix, and hopefully the administration is in there with Lovey supporting him for the long haul, because I really believe he's the right person. We've got to get on that road and get the city of Chicago to get all those players to the University of Illinois and get to put a fence around the state of Illinois and get those guys to stay home. But I'm a fan of Lovey and think he's a great person.
Now I want to ask you about your son James the third. Is he 9 or is he 10?
He is 9. He'll be 10 in 1 month.
All right. How are we going to see him in a Buffaloes uniform here pretty soon? And give us a little scouting report on him.
We'll definitely see him in the uniform during the games. You want to see my son? He's watch down there doing the games on the sidelines. He's running around, throwing the ball, tackling. He'll come up and talk to you and say hello as well. So he's an interesting young man, and I'm proud of him, but he'll definitely be a future Buff.
All right. It's a name to know for the class of G's, like 20, 30 something.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure. But keep an eye on James, and keep an eye on his dad, James Williams, the head coach of the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes. Coach, really appreciate your time. Best of luck tomorrow night and the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys. It's truly an honor to be on your program, and I really appreciate the support.
Absolutely. There he goes, James Williams, head coach, Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes. Had to move things around. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was in a meeting or something. We get that all the time, where we'll call him, we'll call a coach, and we'll have it scheduled out. Be like, all right, we're calling it 12:20. 12:20. Absolutely, yeah. And he had texted me. He's like, yep, we're good. Stuff like that. He texted me like yesterday. Said, we're good. You'll call. We've had this before, where they'll call back and be like, man, I got pulled into a meeting by my superintendent. And it's like, what are you going to do? Tell him, hey, hold on. I got some doofuses on an internet show that I got to talk to.
Yeah, right.
No. So we appreciate Coach Williams calling us back and hopping on with us. And watch out for Marshall. I know you're high on them. You saw them in person.
I love Marshall. I love them. I think they're the best pound-for-pound offense in 5AD2. Mm-hmm. I just think they're special. And I know he'll say that they've got, like every team, they've got to worry more about themselves than anyone else. But I like their path. I think it's lined up for them to make a nice run. They're going to have to beat some tough teams along the way, but I'm really high on them. And I think if you see them at AT&T Stadium, you're going to love them. Yeah. That's the kind of team they are. They're a hard team to not love.
Yeah, that's I think you're right. I'm high on them. I want to see how the bracket shakes out, and I want to look at their path. But overall, I mean, they're definitely on that short list of contenders.
Yeah, and it's hard to convey, but they have a lot of really special, talented players. He's right. The offensive line does a good job. I can't convey.
Guard,
It can't convey enough about how Jabari James is seriously one of the most intense competitors I've ever seen in high school football, and he's got great receivers who make incredible plays. So it really is just a special group, and I hope we see him pretty far down the road.
So we appreciate Coach Williams hopping on with us.